Hey guys, Panda back with you. Kind of checking out the bike after my first test ride. I'm actually pretty impressed. A lot of the parts, granted, have to break in, and I'll chalk it up to having to break in. But there are some things that I am a little bit concerned about as well. Here's one of the first ones. Now, I was having problems with the derailleur during my ride, and I did go out for a second longer ride, and I think it's just needing to break in. I did get some lube on the chain, and I think as that lube works around on the gears, we'll be in good shape. But here's one thing I am concerned about. When I took off the back wheel, to put the Tannis inserts in, the derailleur protector thing here is not cut and machined the right way to where it clears this bolt right here, this nut right here, where my finger's at. That's the nut that secures your axle brace, that slides onto your nut when you're putting your tire on. And the piece, I don't know if you guys can see it in here, it's lopsided with the derailleur. It does not clear the washer on this piece. And when I took the tire off, it actually popped or slid securely down into the frame mount. That was right out of the factory, okay? So I've definitely got some issues with whatever quality control is going on at the factory. Second thing I'll note is right here. This is where your wire comes out through your nut. You guys can see that, right? Hopefully. Here. You see how it's facing up? It's facing vertical. And that's how it was when I took the tire off. And yeah, I tried to rotate the axle, but the actual nut that secures the axle in place over here on this side only goes on, according to how it can slide onto the actual axle, because it's machined to fit it only a certain way. So, I don't think it'll cause any problems, but I would actually prefer that the opening, the cutout in the nut here, would have been facing horizontal with the bike, like running this direction here, from front to back. So other than that, I think my last concern is what I discovered inside the controller box area. Very little wire play down in there. You can see this right here. This is where your controller's at. It's inside this area right here on the bike. And I pulled that controller out, and yes, I found 2 of those 3 connections. They were loose. Even though they appeared to be connected, they were loose. And I don't see, and I played with this too to see what kind of extra wire play I could get. And I tell you what, at least for me, if I had to change this controller out, it would be impossible because there's not enough wire play to even get your fingers in there to even do anything at all. I mean, literally, I don't know. I don't know if it's a fluke, something with the factory, but that's the one thing that has me concerned a great deal. Because I know if this thing goes out prematurely, I sure as hell am not going to pay, because there's not enough extra wires for something that I know for a fact I could do myself. But other than that, I'm actually really happy with the bike, how it feels. And considering I have not ridden a two-wheel bike in, geez, several years. Yeah, definitely takes some getting used to, but I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna definitely get rid of these freaking cheap ass pedals. These things suck. Your feet go slipping off of them and all that shit. You know, all regular pedals at least have some kind of like grooves on to hold your. I mean, these have small grooves, but not what I'm looking for. So, other than that, my little rant about the bike. Other than that, I'm pretty happy about it. And of course, we got the new Rad Mini over here. Bike's doing remarkably well. The other thing too I want to talk about is the the batteries between both the bikes. Obviously, the Rad Mini has a better battery, 14 amp hour versus the 9.6 amp hour. If I'm correct on that, with the Lectric 2.0, and of course 750 watt motor. But this battery here, you have to go through a thing when you first get the bike, what is known as balancing the battery, to make sure the battery is stronger and better. And I went through all my manuals on the electric bike here, and it doesn't say anything at all about if we have to balance the battery or do anything. So that's something else. I mean, different batteries, I understand that, but I don't know. Anyone has any comments on that? Experiences that you know about? Please let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. Other than that, I hope you guys are keeping safe out there and having a fun time. I'm definitely having a fun time. And I tell you what, once the bike earns my confidence and trust, we're going to be heading down to the ocean. Considering it's only like less than half a mile away from where I live. So, all right, guys, keep safe out there, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.